What is the shelf life of a vaccine and what are the parameters that have to be checked to increase the shelf life of a vaccine? Can a vaccine's shelf life be extended in any way? And my last question, which is today's topic of discussion, is why India's leading drug manufacturer is mulling to increase the shelf life of Covishield from 6 months to 9 months. So all of these questions will be answered in today's video. You're watching TV9 News and I'm your host Deepak. Now, Serum Institute of India, shortly known as SII, which is India's leading drug manufacturer, has sent a proposal seeking the extension of Covishield's shelf life from 6 months to 9 months. And the Drug Controller General of India has in February said that it had no objection in extending the shelf life of the vaccine. But the response wasn't similar from the world's most premier health agency, WHO. In fact, the World Health Organization has asked SII to formulate doses with enough antibodies or implement a higher specification at release so that the minimum specification of 2.5 into 1 crore IFU per dose. Now, IFU is nothing but the infectious units that are injected inside a person's body for the immune system to produce antibodies. So it's not just that, the WHO has also sought a meeting with DCGI to look at the data fulfilled before SII was given a clearance to extend the shelf life of the vaccine in India. Now, to answer a few questions on the matter, we have Dr. Sitesh Roy, a clinical pulmonologist and also an allergist. Doctor, my first question is, why has Serum Institute of India proposed to extend the shelf life of Covishield? Is there something that the people are missing out on?
So, Deepak, with any vaccine or any medical product, the shelf life or the duration for which it can be safely used increases the chances that it will be used before it expires. So, having a longer expiration date will just increase the chances that doses of Covishield that are unused would not get wasted just because they have reached the expiration date. Clearly, this would also increase the chances that the doses that are being sent to remote areas and might require longer to reach there, or might require longer for enough people to take the doses in that area. It would enhance the ability for people to get the vaccine, and I think that would reduce the overall wastage just because the vaccine has reached its expiration date.
What are the qualifiers of increasing the shelf life of a vaccine, doctor?
For any vaccine, the ability to use it determines on the active ingredient, the one that stimulates the immune system to produce the antibodies and the cellular immunity to sustain for that long in the vaccine. In the case of the Covishield vaccine, there is something called the chimpanzee adenovirus, which is a vector for the spike protein DNA that has been inserted into the genome of the inactivated chimpanzee adenoviruses. Now, as we can expect, the existence of the infectious units, that is what the measure is for the vaccine's potency, that infectious unit has to maintain and sustain for the duration of use of the vaccine. So if it is 6 months, then the minimum required infectious unit dose should sustain for that long in the vaccine, as long as it is stored under the proper temperature conditions. And if it goes below the minimum concentration that is required for a good immune response to be elicited, then that vaccine would be considered less than effective. So the infectious unit is what really determines the shelf life of the vaccine.
Can the current Covishield be shelved for 9 months?
So the DCGI in India has given the approval for Covishield to be shelved for 9 months, with the understanding that for every month beyond the expiration date, from each and every batch that is distributed, sampling will be done, and the infectious unit, or you can call that the viral particles that are carrying the spike protein DNA in them, will be assessed, and the minimum concentration that is required for that viral particle will still be present in the vaccine, will have to be confirmed, and that data will have to be submitted to the DCGI labs as recommended, and only then can we be sure that the vaccine is good for 9 months. But as of now, a temporary approval has been given for that with ongoing monitoring. The WHO clearly wants that data before they will give any kind of approval and has asked SII to provide that data, and hopefully SII has been keeping track of any decline in the viral particles that may occur as the vaccine is kept in cold storage for longer and longer, and they'll be able to provide that data to the WHO soon.
What happens if the IFU is increased and it results in adverse events in a person, doctor?
So Deepak, generally infectious units are not just randomly increased. There are rates of decline that are very much calculable to know how much of a level needs to be initially there so that the minimum IFU that is required for the vaccine to be effective will still be sustained at 9 months. And I'm sure that the company would do its due diligence and only include that much IFU which will maintain the same level of potential side effect profile that was originally seen in the clinical trial, and not put anyone at risk by increasing the IFUs just so that they get a longer shelf life. So I think that this is a very scientific process with very good calculations that can be easily done, and safety can be maintained while effectiveness is sustained for 9 months.
Well, the WHO is yet to assess the data formalities that were fulfilled before clearing SII's proposal in February, and this also raises doubts on the credibility of DCGI because the WHO rejected the proposal as there was no data, but the DCGI had approved it, and increasing the shelf life means increasing the contents and the potency of a vaccine. So without data, if the formalities are completed, the ones at risk are the ones who receive the vaccine shots. So to avoid such a risk, the WHO has sought a meeting with DCGI as the fate of the shelf life extension hangs in the balance. Do leave your opinions in the comment section below, and also do not forget to like, share and subscribe to TV9 News on various social media platforms. Many thanks for watching.